All right, let's talk about underperforming real estate assets, especially in the residential space. What can you do if you have a property and the taxes went up, insurance doubled? This is happening in Florida. This is happening in every county in Florida. Insurance rates are going up. Now, they're not doubling necessarily, but sometimes they are. So what can you do as an owner to actually break even or profit and make some money? And a lot of people think that all they can do is rent it. And that's true, but that doesn't really tell the whole story, because there are different types of things you can do when it comes to renting it. So I'm here to tell you how you can maximize your money. Check this out. So I did this in 2002, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And some people call it house hacking. Not exactly. This is a little different variation. Now there's been a recent company called Pad Split that kind of came out and is implementing a similar model. But here's the deal. Right now, home affordability is, in a really bad spot. So a lot of people can't afford. And what happened is rents also went up tremendously. So they can't afford to rent. So people are getting divorced, and there's a lot of single people out. Here's what you could do. Okay, let's get to the bottom of this. You can take your property, let's just say you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and you can rent out by the room. And you have to incur the costs of the water bill and the electric bill, but you have a much higher rental income for these properties, because in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in our area will rent for like $2,500 depending on the neighborhood. But in a pad split type of situation, which basically is a program that allows you to go and use their whole software system to manage a property and rent by the room. So this is actually a really, really good way to maximize money without going short-term rentals, because short-term rentals, there's a lot of rules against that. But renting by the room, there aren't rules against that unless it's in a condo and then the people need to get approved. So a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. First of all, you usually have a master bedroom with its own bathroom. And then you have 2 smaller bedrooms with a shared bathroom. So you can take that. And that master bedroom, you can rent that for $1,100, $1,200, right? At least in our area. And then each bedroom you could probably rent for $800 to $900. And now you're making $3,000 a month versus something that you can rent out completely for a lot less than that, Now, if you really want to maximize it, then you can do what Pad Split recommends. And what they do is they'll take the living room, which might be a large area, and put up some walls and add a little closet. And next thing you know, you're in a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. Maybe you can add a second bathroom in the garage area where the laundry stuff is, right? So now you can have 2 rooms share 2 each, and now you're making a lot more money. So this is an thinking out of the box type of solution, because it's hard, when you have a property and you have a 4% interest rate on it, it's hard to give that up and just say, here you go, I'm going to sell the property because I'm losing $100 a month now that taxes and insurance went up. And then there's also the uncertainty of the future. You might start losing $200, $500 a month. It might start adding up if the insurance rates keep going up. So this is a good way to mitigate that. And you do have a little bit more work, but just a little bit. And some property managers don't want to touch this stuff because it's new and they don't know how to do it. But some property managers do touch it, and they will manage it for you, because they're getting paid 10% usually, right? So if you have only one property, if you have numerous properties, then it'll be cheaper. So now you're in a position where you don't have to manage it. You're losing 10% off the top, but something that usually can bring in $2,500 might be able to bring in $5,000. And now you're profiting. Now you're in the green $2,000 a month. I have a friend, his name's Chris, and he's currently going through 2 remodels up in the Tampa area, just a little north of us, and creating some pad splits. He's a big proponent of the pad split. He's done a lot of research and knows numerous people that have their properties on pad split. And basically, everyone is making a lot more money. It's kind of like Airbnb when it came out, in a sense. Airbnb, when it came out, it had major adoption, and a lot of people were just bragging about they went from profiting $1,000 a month to $4,000 a month, and that's the truth. And now that Airbnb, the hype is kind of dying off and the market has been saturated, the next thing is pad split and room rentals. So I'll tell you, I'm going to take few of my properties and I'm going to rent by the room, and I'll update you and I'll let you know if that's working out or not. I am 99% sure that this is going to work out with minimal additional effort. I do manage my own properties, but I'll bet you it's going to be a really good investment decision. So I'm not kicking anyone out to do this, but I do have natural turnover. So on my next turnover, which actually I have an eviction filing right now in the courts, so on that next one, I'm going to see what I can do to maximize that unit, which is only an $800 a month rental right now. And fair market value on that is maybe $1,100. I'm gonna see if I can bring it to $2,500 a month just on that one unit. So I will keep you updated and I will let you know what the progress is. I will need probably about 3 months to get all of this done before you see the next update on this. But this is a great way for you to mitigate any kind of losses that you're incurring without giving up your property, giving up the 3% interest rate and cutting it a loss.